All right, let's get right into it. Have you been super dedicated to that 16-8 intermittent fasting schedule, but the scale just isn't moving? Yep, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to break down why your go-to fasting method might actually be the very thing holding you back.
And that quote right there, it just nails the frustration, doesn't it? You feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to. You're being consistent, but you've smacked right into a wall. It can feel like your body is fighting you every step of the way. And you know what? In a way, it is. But what if I told you that fight is totally predictable and you can actually learn to work with it instead of against it?
So let's talk about the why. This plateau, this wall you've hit, it's not a failure. It's not you. It's actually a very smart, very ancient survival mechanism kicking into gear. Your body thinks it's protecting you by going into this kind of safety mode. And this response, it has a name. It's called adaptive thermogenesis.
Adaptive thermogenesis. It really is your body's way of dimming the lights to save power. When it senses a consistent, predictable threat, like the same 16-hour fast, day in and day out, it gets smart. It adapts. It literally learns how to run on less fuel, which is the exact opposite of what you want when you're trying to lose weight.
And what's wild is that this isn't some new discovery. We've known about this for decades. I mean, way back in 1944, the famous Minnesota starvation experiment showed researchers exactly this. When you cut calories too consistently for too long, the body just slams on the metabolic brakes. It lowers its heart rate, it drops its body temperature, all to conserve every single bit of energy. It's a survival instinct that turns your metabolism down to a slow, frustrating idle.
So how in the world do you break that cycle? Well, you have to stop being so predictable. The solution is to introduce some strategic change, some hormetic stress. And that, my friends, is where the pulse method comes in.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. That daily 16-8 grind, it's like you're trying to run on a treadmill. But as you speed up, the treadmill just slows down. It becomes a chore, and your body adapts to it. But the pulse method, it reframes the whole thing. It treats fasting like metabolic weightlifting. You have these intense periods of effort, that's the lift, and then you have periods of rest and recovery, the feast. This is what keeps your metabolism on its toes, totally responsive and firing like it's supposed to.
Okay, so to really understand how to lift effectively, you've got to know where your body's getting its fuel from at different points in a fast. Let's make this simple. Think of your body's energy stores like a kitchen with 3 different places to get food. So for the first 12 hours or so of any fast, you're just clearing out the cupboard. You're burning through all the sugar, the glycogen, that's stored in your liver from your last meal. A 16-hour fast, well, it just barely peaks into the next level. But at 24 hours, now we're talking. You're finally opening the fridge. Your liver's empty, and your body has this little panic moment that's actually amazing for you. But the real trophy, the champion of fat loss, that's the deep freezer. At 36 hours, your body is forced to go after those stubborn long-term fat reserves.
Right, so here's the crucial part. Hitting that 24-hour mark, getting to the fridge, is where the real magic happens. Why? Because your body can trigger this incredible surge in something called human growth hormone, or HGH. This stuff is amazing. It protects your muscle so you don't lose it, while at the same time telling your body to go hunt for fat to burn. And get this, at that 24-hour switch, the HGH surge can be as high as 2,000% in men. That is absolutely huge.
Okay, so that's the science. Pretty cool, right? But let's get practical. How do you actually use this? Well, it all boils down to a really simple action plan with 2 main ways to use the pulse method, and it just depends on where you're at right now.
First, there's the 5-2 variation. This is your main routine, your metabolic weightlifting program. It's simple. You eat normally for 5 days of the week. Then, on 2 days that are not back-to-back, you pulse. You do one of those metabolic lifts, a fast that lasts anywhere from 24 to 36 hours. This is how you consistently get to that fridge and deep freezer level, where all the good stuff happens.
But what if you're already stuck deep in that 16-8 plateau? Then you need a reset first. For 2 days a week, you're going to do the complete opposite of fasting. I mean, you're going to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This sends a massive signal of safety and abundance to your thyroid, basically telling it, hey, the famine is over. It's safe to crank the metabolic heat back up to full blast.
So when you put all these pieces together, you start to see that this is way more than just a new trick to lose a couple of pounds. It's about a fundamental shift in your body's entire operating system.
You're actively training your metabolism. By pulsing like this, you're not just playing a numbers game with calories. You are fundamentally rewiring your internal chemistry. You're transforming your body from a tired sugar burner that's always looking for its next fix into a resilient, efficient,
fat-burning machine.
So the question you've got to ask yourself is this. Is your current routine leading to real progress or just predictable frustration? Are you just grinding away on that slowing treadmill, or are you strategically lifting and resting to get stronger? To put it simply, are you pulsing or are you plateauing?